Now, the topic is advent of Europeans. So, that means arrivals of Europeans. You see, from 14th BC, 4th BC onwards, the Europeans are entered to India, but especially up to 1453, up to 1453 AD, up to 1453 AD, there was no problem to arrivals of Europeans, because from 4th BC onwards, 4th century BC onwards, Europeans usually coming to India, having business relations, having political relations. So, this is the way the Europeans came to India and they have done business, they have improved, developed the business relations and political relations also. But in 1453, actually the Europeans, they used the way, they used to come to India through Constantinople. Constantinople is the key of Asian countries or key of Asian. Constantinople is called, right now it is called Istanbul. It is in Turkey. Istanbul, it is in Turkey. The old name of Istanbul, Constantinople. So, whenever the Europeans, if they want to come to India, only the way through Constantinople. And Constantinople, they can use the way Constantinople and they can come to India through Khyber and Bolan passes. So, this is the way. But what happened, you see, in 1453, actually before 1453, Constantinople and Turkey under the control of the Greeks. That is why there was no problem to Europeans to enter to India. But whenever in 1453, Arabs occupied Constantinople, especially second Muhammad, he occupied Turkey. That is why Turkey under the control of Arabs. So, what they have done, second Muhammad is the king of Turkey. What he has done, he closed the way, he closed Constantinople, the way which is using by Europeans, it is closed. That is why there is no way to India for the European countries. So, this is the problem. So, what is the need to come to India? Why the Europeans coming to India? What kind of business they are doing with us? So, especially you see, Europeans are doing two kinds of business with us. One, spices. So, spices business, and second, so silk business. Spices and silk business. So, two kinds of things using for the business, that is spices and silk, especially spices. From BC 4th century onwards, we are exporting the spices to European countries and Central Asian countries also, because the Europeans are having food habits, non-vegetarian food habits. So, they want to store the non-vegetarian foods. So, when they want to store the food, so we should use these spices. Whenever we are using spices for the storing of the non-veg, so it cannot be spoiled, it will be for long time. That is why, so spices has lot of importance regarding non-vegetarian food habits of European countries. So, that is the point. So, they need spices. So, spices means here we are saying that clove, ilachi and dalchin. So, this kind of things we are calling, we are saying that spices. So, Europeans they have the relations with India for the spices business. So, in European countries, in Central Asian countries, spices have lot of demand. But what happened in 1453, whenever Arabs occupied Turkey, whenever Arabs were ruling Turkey, they closed Constantinople, the way which is to India. That is why now the Europeans, they wanted to find sea route to India. So, this is a earth route, this is called earth route. There is no alternative earth route to come to India. Why? Because if Europeans want to come to India, they should use some of the water also. They have to come on the water also. That is why the Europeans, they must and should, they want to find the sea route to India. So, this is the reason to find sea route to India. That is why in Europe countries, especially Portugal and Spain, in Europe countries, Portugal and Spain, they started the Naval Academy. Okay, they started Naval Academy in Portugal and Spain, especially Lisbon, Portugal capital Lisbon. So, the Naval Academy started in Lisbon. So, who started? The Prince of Portugal. Later he became the King of Portugal. So, Prince Henry started Naval Academy in Lisbon. So, he has the title the Navigator. Henry the Navigator is the title, Henry the Navigator. So, Henry, when he started naval school in Lisbon, he was Prince of Portugal. So, he encouraged so many people. He started the academy, Naval Academy. So many students are joined in that Naval Academy, especially so Christopher Columbus, Amerigo Vespucci, Magellan, and Vasco da Gama brothers, Bartolomé Diaz. All these people, they were the students of Henry Naval Academy. You see, Christopher Columbus, so he found West Indies. Christopher Columbus, he found West Indies, and Amerigo Vespucci, he found America, and Magellan, he rounded the world, the earth, and so these are the people, they were training in that Naval Academy, which is established by or started by Henry. So, Henry as a title, Henry the Navigator. So, apart from this, first of all, Henry wanted to find sea route to India. There is the way. What is the way? So, we have to use Gibraltar Pass. So, Gibraltar is there. So, through Gibraltar Pass, and they have to come to North Africa. And from western coast of Africa, they have to last edge of Africa. So, from there directly they should come to India. So, this is the way. They have to take Gibraltar Pass, they have to cross Gibraltar Pass, and then they have to come to North Africa. From there they should come through western coast area of Africa, and they should come to last edge of Africa in south. From there direct they have to come to India. This is the sea route. So, actually Henry, so he crossed Gibraltar Pass and he reached to North Africa. So, he reached to Morocco. So, Morocco, it is in North Africa. Up to Morocco or up to North Africa, he found sea route, Henry the Navigator. Okay. So, after Henry, Bartolomé Diaz in 1486, Bartolomé Diaz, he wanted to find a sea route up to south edge of, last edge of Africa. So, already Henry went up to North Africa. Okay. So, by using that guidelines, actually what I am saying, the revolution before finding sea routes, in the world, some of inventions are there. So, what is the revolution or what is the invention encouraged these people to find sea route to India? So, especially compass. Compass is it was found before the invention of the sea route to India. So, what we can say, compass is invented. That is why compass helped to find sea route to India. This is the encouragement, or this is called revolution. That is why compass is found. So, because of that compass, now these people are going to find sea route to India. So, Bartolomé Diaz, so he has taken the help of Henry, he has shown the sea route to Africa. So, because of that sea route, He came to south edge, last edge of South of Africa. So, Bartholomew was first person, he found sea route up to south edge of Africa. So, actually that day when he reached to south edge of Africa, that day that is the Indian Ocean, is a part of Indian Ocean. So, that day Indian Ocean having lot of storms, cyclones, it has lot of disturbance, it has storm. Because of this storm, he was not able to move towards India. So, he was not able to move forward. That's why he came back Portugal again. You see, whenever on the south edge of Africa, that is full of it is having full of disturbance, storms. That's why he has given the title Cape of Storms. Cape of Storms. He has given title Cape of Storms. Okay. Later, James I, he has given the title to that south edge of Africa, that is Good Hope. That is Good Hope. James I, he has given title Good Hope. So, also called Vasco da Gama, also given the name Good Hope. Vasco da Gama also given the title Good Hope. Okay, whatever. So, whenever Bartholomew went back to Portugal, then in 1497 in the month of June, 1497 in the month of June, Vasco da Gama brothers, means Estevão da Gama and Vasco da Gama. They are the brothers. Both of the students of the Naval Academy of Henry. So, Vasco da Gama and Estevão da Gama, both of the students in Naval Academy of Henry. So, both of the brothers in 3 boats, okay, and in 1497 in the month of June, they started from Portugal. Up to Good Hope, up to Cape of Good Hope, they have the clear route, because already Bartholomew has given sea route. That's why they came to south edge of, that means Good Hope, the Cape of Good Hope. They came to the Cape of Good Hope. From there, they should come to India. But they have no idea regarding this route to India. So, they have taken advice of a Arab person. He was a person, he related to India, a Muslim person related to India. He has advised to Vasco da Gama. His name was Muhammad Mazid. Muhammad Mazid, he was Indian. He was staying at the Good Hope, Cape of Good Hope. So, he advised Vasco da Gama, he has shown sea route how to go to India. So, then by taking his advice, Vasco da Gama and Estevão da Gama, they reached to India. So, they reached to Malabar coastal area. They reached to Malabar. Malabar means that is Kerala. So, 1498 May 17th, 1498 May 17th, Vasco da Gama reached to Malabar coastal area, that is Calicut. That is Calicut. Right now, Calicut also, it's called Calicut, Calicut. Right now we can say Kozhikode. Right now, at present we are saying that Kozhikode. So, Vasco da Gama along with his brother, he reached to Calicut. So, Calicut, it was ruling by Jamarin. So, it was ruling by Jamarin. It was ruling by Jamarin. You know, actually, this is the name as given by Portuguese Vasco da Gama and others. Actually, his name Raja Vikramavarma. Raja Vikramavarma. Jamarin has the name, original name, Raja Vikramavarma. But here they called Jamarin, and they welcomed Vasco da Gama and his brother and his team. So they stayed for 2 months here in Calicut. After 2 months, they were going to Portugal. While going to Portugal, Jamarin filled all the boats with spices. So they came to India by 3 boats. They came to India by 3 boats. So in the 3 boats, he filled all the boats with spices. Then Vasco da Gama, after going to Portugal, he sold out. So he sold out all the spices. You know how much profit he got? 60 rates. 60 rates profit he got. 60 rates of the profit Vasco da Gama got. So we can understand what was the demand for the spices. In Europe countries, spices have lot of demand because they can use red meat. Maximum they are the non-vegetarians and they can eat regularly meat. That's why meat will be tasted. Meat will have lot of good taste by using spices. If the spices are not used there, then non-veg have not that much of taste. That's why what I'm saying. So these spices have lot of importance in the making non-veg curries, non-veg dishes. That's why in European countries, even though in Arab countries also, the spices have lot of demand. So whenever Vasco da Gama went to Portugal, he sold all the spices. He got the profit 60 rates. He got the profit 60 rates. So this is the sea route to India found by Vasco da Gama. And again he came to India in 1502. Again he came to India in 1502. So up to 1524, Vasco da Gama, up to 1524, he stayed in India only. So up to 1524, he stayed in India. So he was died in Goa. He was died in Goa. So in 1524, he died in Goa because of malaria. Malaria affected on Vasco da Gama. Because of that malaria, he was died in 1524. So this is the information regarding finding sea route to India. So because of Vasco da Gama, all the Europeans started to arrive to India, started to come to India. That's why who are the Europeans came to India? One by one. You see, in the examinations, they will ask the question, sequence, who is first? So they will give you A, B, C, multiple choice. So find a correct series. The Europeans, who are the Europeans came to India? They can ask, find the series. So they can they can give that country's name jumblings. One sequence is correct, remaining all jumbling system. They will be in jumbling system. That's why we find the correct sequence. So who are the Europeans came to India? Especially the Europeans came to India for the business, trading, commerce. Later they have different ideas, they got different thoughts, but anyhow they came to India on the name of the trading. So what is the sequence of advent of Europeans to India? So we should remember the series, sequence. Okay, but before that I want to say again, we should remember 1453. This is the most important date. Who are the aspirants, they should remember 1453. What is the importance of 1453? So the importance of 1453, it is Constantinople is occupied by Arabs. Constantinople is occupied by Arabs, that is 1453. And we should remember 1498. This is also important date. Okay, what is that? Vasco da Gama reached to Calicut. Vasco da Gama reached to Calicut in 1498. And one more name, Jamarin. King Jamarin, we should remember that name also. Why? Because, so from this area, the expected questions are these: 1453, 1498, and Jamarin, King Jamarin. Now, the sequence of advent of Europeans. You see, first Portugal, second Dutch, so second Dutch, and third British, and fifth Danish or Danish, and or Dave, that Denmark, and French. So this is the sequence. Okay, in all books, in all maximum examination, if they ask any question regarding this point, the sequence: Portugal, Dutch, British, Danish, and French. Okay, Portugal came to India in 1498. So this is sea route, but actually they came to India in 1502. Okay, Portugal came to India in 1502, but Vasco da Gama came in 1498. But again, for the purpose of business, they came to India in 1502. And Dutch it came to India in 1605. Actually, in 1603, Dutch East India Company started, but they came to India in 1605. And British 1608. They came to India in 1605. Actually, 1608. So actually, in 1600, the East India Company started. Okay, in 1698, the East India Company started, but they came to India in 1608. And Danish, so they came to India in 1616. Actually, Danish East India Company was established in 1616. Later, they came to India. And French 1664. 1664. So these are the dates we should remember. Portugal, you know, it is a small part in Spain. Adjustment of Atlantic Sea. If you have idea, so if you see Atlas, if you are having Atlas or you see map, so Spain will be there, the corner place regarding Portugal. So adjustment of Atlantic Ocean. So Portugal, its capital Lisbon. Portugal capital was Lisbon. And Dutch, it is a Scandinavian area. Okay, so Dutch means Netherlands. It has one more name, Netherlands. And Holland, you know, Holland, it is a famous country champion in hockey. Okay, that is Netherlands, Dutch, Holland. And British, you know very well. So that is England or British. And Danish. So that is Denmark. So Danish capital city Copenhagen. Danish or Denmark capital city. Once upon a time, it was number one country producing milk. And French, you know, France. So this is the biggest country in Europe. So these are the countries, European countries, came to India one by one. This is a sequence. We should remember sequence, but they will ask the question by giving jumbling. But we should find Portugal, Dutch, British, Danish, and French. So PDBDF. We should remember this sequence. Okay. Now Portugal. Okay. We should learn about the Portugal. You know, Portugal already they have found the sea route to India. Vasco da Gama found sea route to India, and 1498 in the month of May 17th he came to India, and second time he came to India in 1502. So Portuguese, it has its main business center Cochin. First they started business from Cochin, and their main, later Goa became the main center of the business of Cochin. Okay, so Portugal governor, who was governor in India, whenever Portuguese came to India, whenever they wanted to start the business in India, who was the governor? Francisco de Almeida. He was Governor General of Portugal to develop a business in India. Francisco de Almeida. Okay, so he introduced blue water policy. This is most important. Who introduced blue water policy? Neeli Niti Vidhanam. Blue water policy means Neeli Niti Vidhanam. Neeli Niti Vidhanam means the water of the sea will be looking like blue color. That's why it's called Neeli Niti, blue water policy. This is introduced by Almuda. What is the meaning of blue water policy? Means actually Almuda he wanted to not disturb Indian politics. He don't want to enter into politics, not interfere in the politics of Indian kingdoms. That's why he wanted the superiority and authority on the water. That's why he got the permission, he got the order from the Indian local kings, authority on water, Arabian Sea water. That means if any European wants to come to India to do business, through Arabian Sea they have to come to India. That's why if they come to India, they have to travel across Arabian Sea. That's why if they want to enter into Arabian Sea, they will take the permission of Portugal. That's why Almuda he introduced blue water policy. It means having the power on the sea. Okay. So Almuda up to 1509, Almuda worked as the governor. Okay. So after Almuda we have Alfonso de Albuquerque. Alfonso de Albuquerque, second governor of Portugal, Alfonso de Albuquerque. Okay. When he became, in 1509, he became the governor of Portuguese in India. Okay. So, these are doing the business from Cochin. Cochin is the first headquarter of Portugal people. Okay. So, Albuquerque became the ruler, became the governor. When he became the governor, he abolished, he removed the blue water policy. We will have the question. Everybody should remember. We will have the question. What is the question? Who introduced blue water policy? Who abolished blue water policy? The introducer, that is Almuda, Francisco de Almuda. The remover, who removed or who abolished, that is Albuquerque, Alfonso de Albuquerque. These 2 points we should remember. Okay, he was contemporary to Sri Krishna Devaraya, the Vijayara king Sri Krishna Devaraya. He was contemporary to Sri Krishna Devaraya. So in 1510, there is agreement between Albuquerque and Sri Krishna Devaraya. What was the agreement? So Albuquerque wanted to occupy Goa. Goa under the control of, under the authority of Bijapur Sultans. So Albuquerque wanted to defeat Bijapur Sultans and he wanted to get Goa. So in this point, he has the agreement with Sri Krishna Devaraya. So Sri Krishna Devaraya encouraged help to Albuquerque. But what was the agreement? So Krishna Devaraya will help to Albuquerque. Albuquerque has to give the finest horses to Vijayanagar kingdom, because Portugal is famous for horses, finest quality horses. That's why Krishna Devaraya wanted him get horses. That is the agreement. But anyhow, Albuquerque defeated Bijapur Sultan and got it Goa. Okay. And you see, after Albuquerque, the next governor, that is Ninoda Kunaha. After Albuquerque, Ninoda Kunaha became the ruler of Portuguese, became the governor of Portuguese centers in India. Ninoda Kunaha. So he shifted the business center from Cochin to Goa. Ninoda Kunaha shifted the business center from Cochin to Goa. So here Ninoda Kunaha killed Bijapur Sultan. So he was not accepted to donate, to give authority on South Indian areas. That's why Ninoda Kunha killed Bijapur Sultan. Okay, so after Ninoda Kunha, we have the governor D'Souza. After Ninoda Kunha, we have the governor, that is D'Souza. In the period of D'Souza, the Christian father, so Saint Francisco Xavier, Saint Francis Xavier, he came to India to propagate Christianity in India. Okay, so he came to India in the period of D'Souza, governor. Okay, that is Saint Xavier. Saint Francis Xavier, he wanted to propagate Christianity in India. So he converted 7 lakh people. He converted 7 lakh people into Christianity. And he was died at Goa. Father Francisco Xavier, he died at Goa. You know, on the name of Xavier, in Goa, there is a church right now also. So, Xavier church also there. His dead body, it is in this church in Goa. Every year, still dead body is there. Still, Father Xavier dead body in that church. Every year, they will exhibit the dead body of Xavier. Every year, there is some days, after I think in the month of January, they will keep the dead body in that church. So Xavier dead body still now it is in Goa church. So this is the information regarding Portugal. But you see, Portugal business centers, especially they have business centers in Surat, Goa, Dayu Daman, Cochin, Kannur, Salsetti. These are the business areas, especially west side of India. So Cochin, Kannur, Salsetti, Goa, Dayu Daman, Surat. These are the business centers of Portuguese. And they got Machilipatnam also. They got Machilipatnam also. So they started the business in the east coastal area, that is Machilipatnam also. But you see, in the ending, they lost the areas to Britishers especially. Because Portugal concentrated, actually Portugal is occupied by Spain, and they concentrated on Brazil. So here Portugal were defeated by Marathas. Why? Because the Portugal people, they were propagating Christianity. They are propagating the Christianity, they are converting the people into Christianity. Because of this reason also, they were disappeared from India. So, because of these reasons, Portugal is disappeared, withdrawn the areas and lost the areas to Britishers, and they went back to Portuguese. But you see, only Goa, Dayu Daman were under the control of Portugal up to 1961. Goa, Dayu Daman under the control of Portugal up to 1961. So in 1947, India got independence, but Goa, Dayu Daman didn't get independence because of Portugal. They were under the control of Portugal. So Indian government defeated Portugal in Operation Vijay. Because of Operation Vijay, these Portugal, they have given Goa, Dayu Daman to India. They have given liberation to Goa, Dayu Daman, and went to their native place. That is Operation Vijay. Because of Operation Vijay, we will have question: what is Operation Vijay? Operation Vijay means attacking an Portugal army in Goa, Dayu Daman. Military action on Portugal army. That is Operation Vijay. So you see, Portugal introduced tobacco. So Portugal introduced tobacco in India. Okay, and also they introduced red chilli. Red chilli also introduced by Portugal, and potatoes. So, we should remember who introduced tobacco in India, that is Portugal. Portugal introduced tobacco. In the period of Akbar, they introduced tobacco and red chilli and potato. But anyhow, this is the information regarding Portugal. Okay, and next European country, Dutch. You see, Dutch, it is the strongest country in the navy power. It has lot of navy power. It is the strongest country among all European countries. It is also called Netherlands and Holland. Netherlands and Holland. So, in 1603, Dutch East India Company started. Dutch East India Company is started. Okay. So, then they came to India in 1605. Dutch came to India in 1605. Especially Dutch concentrated on east coastal area. East coastal area. In 1605, they got Machilipatnam. In 1609, they got Pulicat. In 1611, they got Surat. So, Nagapatnam, Kalingapatnam, Bhimunipatnam, Vishakhapatnam, all these areas under the control of Dutch. All coastal area towns from nearby Orissa. Okay? Kalingapatnam, Bhimunipatnam and Vishakhapatnam, Narsapur, Machilipatnam, Nagapatnam, Pulicat. The most important headquarter, Pulicat. Pulicat, it is in between Andhra and Tamil Nadu. Pulicat Lake, we have Pulicat Lake. So, Pulicat was the main important center of Dutch. Later, their business center shifted to Nagapatnam. But Dutch concentrated on Indonesia. So, southeastern islands, especially Malacca, Sumatra, Java, Indonesia. These are called, we can say, these are called islands, spices islands. So, there also lot of spices production in Indonesia, Malaysia, Sumatra, Java like. That's why they concentrated on Indonesia. So, they started the business, established the shelters in Indonesia. Then, Britishers also wanted to establish the business centers in Indonesia. Actually, here Dutch has tough competition. They have tough competition with England, Portuguese, French. That's why Dutch wanted to concentrate on England as well as Indonesia, as well as England also wanted to concentrate on Indonesia. But there we have a battle, that is Ambuyana battle. Ambuyana battle in 1623. This is the most important battle, War of Ambuyana. It is between Dutch and England. That is War of Battle of Ambuyana. Here in 1623, England was defeated by Dutch. In Indonesia, the area Ambuyana, there was war between Dutch and England. In this war, England is defeated. In the War of Chinsura, it is called in the War of Chinsura, or also called Bedara. It is in 1759. In the War of Chinsura or Bedara, Robert Clive, the governor or warrior of England, defeated Dutch army. That's why Dutch migrated to or shifted the business to Indonesia. Because of this war, Chinsura or Bedara, Robert Clive defeated Dutch in India. Then Dutch, they shifted to Indonesia. So, they ruled, they occupied Indonesia. That's why Indonesia got independence in 1948. Indonesia got independence in 1948 from Dutch. So, this is the information regarding Dutch. And the most important people, the third European, who are the third European came to India, that is Britishers. Okay. So, in 1600, British East India Company is established. In 1600, British East India Company is established. Okay. So, Queen Elizabeth I has given the order to East India Company to start business in India. Okay. Who was the Queen of Britain? Queen Elizabeth I. She has given the permission, she has given the order, okay, to British East India Company to start business. So, in 1600 AD, East India Company is established. In 1608, East India Company representative William Hawkins. Okay. So, William Hawkins, he came to Jahangir court. When Britishers entered to India, Jahangir was the ruler. So, Mughals ruler Jahangir. So, in 1605, Akbar died. In 1605, Jahangir became the ruler. When Britishers came to India, the Mughalai ruler or Mughals ruler, that is Jahangir. William Hawkins, British representative, came to Jahangir's court and requested for the permission to start the business in Surat. But what happened? Jahangir refused the request of Britishers. He is not accepted. He has not given permission to Britishers. Why? What is the reason? There are two reasons. Jahangir rejected the request of Britishers. So, there are two reasons. So, one reason, first reason, Portuguese influenced Jahangir not to give permission. Portuguese influenced Jahangir. They influenced Jahangir not to give permission to Britishers. Why? Because it is also European country. It may become a competitor in the business. That is why Portuguese have not accepted, Portuguese are not accepted the entry of, the advent of Britishers. That is why maximum they influenced, they tried to reject the permission to Britishers. That is why this is one reason. And second reason, Jahangir personally himself, he is not given the permission, because Jahangir earlier he irritated by Portuguese. He has idea all these white people, they are the not correct people, he has idea. That is why Portuguese they irritated Jahangir. That is why these people also may be irritated me. That is why himself he decided not to give permission. So, these are the two reasons. Okay. But then the Britishers, what they have done, in 1611, Britishers came to Golconda Kingdom. So, Britishers came to Golconda Kingdom and they requested Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. In 1611, Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, they requested Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. So, Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah has given permission to Britishers to start business in Machilipatnam. You know, Machilipatnam, what is the old name of Machilipatnam? Bandar. Machilipatnam old name was Bandar. Bandar means not monkey. Bandar means harbor. So, Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah gave permission to Britishers to start business from Machilipatnam. Okay, which is South Indian town given to Britishers to start business first. That is Machilipatnam. Okay, in 1615, the Britishers representative Thomas Roe, he went to Jahangir court. So, first one William Hawkins, we should remember. Here we have two representatives. One William Hawkins, two Thomas Roe. In 1615, Thomas Roe went to Jahangir court. So, Thomas Roe has a talent. He was a talented person, talkative person. That's why he explained to Jahangir, and because of his talent, because of his talkative talks, Jahangir accepted to give permission to start the business in Surat. You know, Surat, then all the Europeans wanted to start the business in Surat. Surat was the richest area in those days. Also, it is a seaport. So, it is a very suitable, perfect town or city having great business, doing great business. That's why all Europeans, even though Bombay also nothing in front of Surat. That's why they wanted to start business in Surat. So, now in 1615, Jahangir has given permission to Britishers to start business in Surat. In 1615, they got Surat. Okay? They got Machilipatnam, they got Surat, and their concentration on Madras. So, in 1639, so Britishers got Madras. So, actually, there was a little bit story behind of getting Madras. Actually, Madras under the control of Chandragiri rulers. Chandragiri rulers means it is a part of Vijayanagara dynasty. So, Vijayanagara kingdom, Chandragiri, it was a part of Vijayanagara kingdom. Their capital actually Penugonda, but capital shifted to Chandragiri. That's why Madras under the control of Chandragiri rulers, that is Vijayanagara kingdom. The ruler was third Venkatapati Raya. Chandragiri was ruling by third Venkatapati Raya. He was Araviti. He belonged to Araviti dynasty, Araviti clan. So, Britishers governor was Francis Day. British governor Francis Day. So, he wants to influence Venkatapati Raya, but it is the problematic because he is the king. Britishers not able to go directly. That's why they recommended Damerla brothers. So, Damerla brothers, they contacted Damerla brothers. Damerla brothers, they were the employees, highly employees in the period of Venkatapati Raya. That Damerla brothers, there are two brothers, Damerla brothers. That is Damerla Venkatadri Naidu, Damerla Ayyappa Naidu. Damerla Venkatadri Naidu, Damerla Ayyappa Naidu. These both are employees, the highest employees, higher employees in the court of Venkatapati Raya. So, these people can influence Venkatapati Raya. That's why Francis Day, he consulted Damerla brothers. But Damerla brothers, they put the challenge. They wanted two agreements. There was agreement between Francis Day and Damerla brothers. So, Damerla brothers said that, okay, we can influence Venkatapati Raya and we will get permission. But before going to start business, so we have one condition. What is the condition? Madras will be changed. In the place of name, Madras name will be changed. So, you keep the name of my father to Madras. Okay. So, Damerla brothers' father, that is Chennappa Naidu. Damerla brothers' father, Chennappa Naidu. They demanded, we will take permission from Venkatapati Raya, we will and try to get the permission. But before that, you change the name of Madras. You keep our father's name. You keep our father's name. That is Chennappa Naidu. You keep Chennapatnam. So, from that day onwards, Madras got one more name, that is Chennapatnam. So, right now we are saying that Chennai, also on the name of Chennappa Naidu. So, this is the agreement. Okay, in 1639, Britishers got the permission to do business from Madras, and they changed the name Chennapatnam also. And they constructed in 1641, they constructed the fort. So, George Fort, William George Fort, they constructed William George Fort at Madras. St. George Fort. So, from there only they started the business. That is why Machilipatnam, Surat, Chennai. Now, their concentration on Bombay. They want to get Bombay. You understand? The Britishers gradually capturing the Indian cities. Now, Bombay. In 1668, Britishers got Bombay. How they got Bombay? What was the reason? Yes, you see, in 1661, British Prince Second Charles, British Prince Yuvraj, British Prince Second Charles married a Portuguese princess. Once again, British Prince Charles II married a Portuguese princess. Her name Catherine Briganja. Princess Catherine Briganja. She married with her marriage with Charles II, Prince of England. So, here Portuguese king has given Bombay to Charles II as a gift. Okay? Catherine father given Bombay to Charles II as a gift. We can say Katnam kinda antam manam. So, as a gift he has donated, he has given Bombay to Prince Charles. Then Prince Charles has given Bombay for rent to East India Company. Now, from Prince Charles has given Bombay to East India Company for the business and the leasing, for the rent. That is why they got Bombay also. So, Machilipatnam, Surat, Madras and Bombay. Now, Calcutta. You know, in 1696, okay, Calcutta was not there. It is a group of 3 villages. Calcutta was the group of 3 villages. The 3 villages, Sutanuti, Kalighat, Govindapur. Sutanuti, Kalighat, Govindapur. This is 3 villages. These 3 villages purchased by Job Charnock, was a East India Company employee. Job Charnock. He purchased from Aurangzeb for 3,000 rupees. These 3 areas, Sutanuti, Kalighat, Govindapur. These 3 areas purchased by Job Charnock, who was East India Company employee from Aurangzeb for rupees 3,000. Then he, in 1690, this is the information in 1696. In 1698, he constructed William Fort. He constructed a fort in Calcutta. The group of 3 villages is called Calcutta. So, In 1698, he built the fort, William Fort. So, Calcutta also captured by Britishers. So, now Surat, Bombay, Chennai, Machilipatnam and Calcutta. The most important places of India, most important areas of India captured by Britishers. So, this is the Britishers. After Britishers, the fourth European country, that is Danish. Danish also called Daves. Danish also called Daves. Danish. Denmark. Okay. Just they have only two places. In 1616, Danish East India Company started. 1616, Danish East India Company started. In 1620, they started business in Tranquebar. Tranquebar, it is in Tamil Nadu. The first business center of Danish, that is Tranquebar. Okay. So, in 1676, they started one more business center, that is Serampur, nearby Calcutta, Bengal. Only Danish has two centers, that is Tranquebar, Tamil Nadu, Serampur, it is in Bengal. So, two areas. But Danish concentrated on China only. They wanted to develop the business because China has silk production. That's why they wanted to concentrate on silk business. So, their business extended up to China. That's why these two areas they have given, they sold to Britishers. Okay. In 1854, these two areas sold to Britishers. That's why Danish, it is closed the business. Danish areas purchased by Britishers. That's why Danish is closed. So, this is a fourth European country. And after Danish, the last country, that is French. The last country, that is French.